Hi, and welcome to another practice. I'm Fatima, and in today's practice, we'll be focusing on inversions and arm strengthening poses. I want you to consider for today's practice ways that you have been leading with your mind instead of your heart. The importance of inversions, or the unique perspective I'd like to think of, is that in inversions, your heart is ahead of your mind. So you lead from that place. Consider in today's practices, what is it that you can feel more instead of think through? Consider situations that have been tough and challenging, that have given you anxiety, maybe headaches, migraines, or things that have made your chest or your heart hurt. The imbalance between both is where we can find restoration, healing, and giving that space a chance to be seen and experienced. So come with me in a seated position. Gently close your eyes. If it feels good, have your palms resting on the back of your knees facing upwards. Inhale for a count of 4. Inhale through your nose for 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale. Feel the presence of your body shape. Exhale. Let go what doesn't serve. Again, inhale. And exhale. And on your next inhale, I want you to come to the front of your mat, short side first. And I'd like you to begin lifting, kind of moving your hips to the right. Hips to the right, lowering your hips as you're inhaling and exhaling to the ground, and then coming back up to the left. Do a full completion, and you're almost reaching your butt back to your heels and then coming around. Think of a circle. Think of a circle here. Come back around, inhaling and exhaling, gently waking up the hips, the rest of our body. Inhale, again to the right, and exhale, feeling the sensations here. And reverse to the left, hips come to the left, lower your hips to the ground, hips gently come to the right. All the way to neutral, and you go back around. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. Notice that we're practicing both sides, different perspectives, different ways of getting to a similar point in position. And on your next inhale, we're going to meet me in the neutral. We are going to have your hands, your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. Your back is straight, so tabletop. And we're going to inhale. I want you to lift your gaze up and begin to dip your back, lift your buttocks up, and exhale. Tuck your tailbone, tuck your tummy. Inhale, lift your gaze up. Tailbone comes up, arch your back. Exhale. Tuck your tummy. Inhale. On your next inhale, tuck your toes, and I want you to send your hips back and up. Lifting your hips, you can keep a slight bend in the knees. Here, you can begin to pedal your feet. Feels good. Pedal your feet. Your arms are supporting you. Your first inversion pose here is downward dog. Notice your heart above your head. Your gaze is towards the mat. You can even, if it's in your practice, start to look at your feet as you start to feel the shoulders and the arms activate. Inhale. And exhale. And on your next inhale, lower your knees back to the mat. Untuck your toes. Send your hips back. And begin to reach your hands in front of you towards the short end of the mat. Lower your head here. Allow your forehead to touch the mat. Child's pose. Inhale. And exhale. Again. Inhale. And exhale. For your next inhale, come back up. Shoulders over wrists. And now I want you to touch your toes. Send your hips back up. We've been here before, downward facing dog. But this time I want you to come down on your next inhale on your forearms. Okay? Notice my forearms are strong. I have a lot of pressure and support and stability in my toes. And my neck is draping between both of my arms. The goal here and the desire is to continue reaching your hips up and placing that pressure on your forearms. You're activating your shoulders, you're activating your arms, and you're also engaging your hamstrings, okay? Breathe. Next. You can affirm as you're inhaling and exhaling on your own. I choose to see things differently. I choose to see things different. And on your next inhale, you can lower your knees back to the ground. You can use your hands to lift your body back up. And I want you to come back to a seat. You can sit on your heels. That feels good. And if this doesn't, you can also option to sit like this, okay? So I'm gonna go back on my knees. And we're gonna inhale, our hands up to the sky. Exhale, we're going to turn. Your left hand is on your right knee and your right hand is behind you. Look behind you. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Next inhale, come back to neutral, lift your hands straight up. On your next exhale, rotate. Right hand is on left knee, left hand is behind you. Inhale. And exhale. And again, inhale. And exhale. Next inhale, come, look forward. And now, if you're on your knees, I want you to come to a seated position if you are already there. Excellent. And now what we're going to do is have our feet in front of us towards the short end of the mat. Roll your body back one vertebrae at a time. Notice the control, one vertebrae at a time, please. There you go. And on your next inhale, I want you to lift your knees towards your chest and then extend your feet up. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Action to also allow your elbows, you're going to lift your hips even up further and allow your elbows to become a kickstand as you're lifting your hips and your legs up forward. Imagine your toes reaching up towards the sky, lifting your hips and feeling the support from your elbows as this kickstand holding you in your arms or in your hands or holding the back of your sacrum. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Take a few more inhales and exhales on your own. And if you like, in your next inhale, you can begin extending your feet, your toes behind you. Right? And reach your toes until they touch the ground behind you. Continue keeping your hips lifted. Continue breathing. Notice the position of your heart, the position of your mind. Heart is first. Look in the front here and make decisions with ease, love, and compassion. I make decisions with ease, love, and compassion. Breathe. And on your next inhale, begin to slowly lower your hips, lifting your legs, and coming back down on the exhale, one vertebrae at a time. Lower your hips back down to the mat. And eventually you can put your feet right back on the mat, or you can fully extend your feet out in front of you, or a final resting pose. If you desire and still feel a little sensation, you can also bring your legs back up to your chest and begin to rock left to right. That feels good. Massaging your spine after that work, supporting you and lifting your heart ahead of your mind. And you can also take your hands to the outer edges of your feet, bringing your knees towards your elbows. And you can also rock here, happy baby. Again, massaging your spine, engaging your legs, taking your own breaths here. And if you had not already been in resting pose, we can go back to resting pose on your next inhale and exhale. And begin straightening your legs, allowing your hands to be out next to you, palms facing up. That's good. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Take your own breaths here. And on your next inhale, I want you to roll to your favorite side. For me, I'm going to shift my hips to the right and my body towards the left. And use your hand, your arm as a pillow, fetal position. Then use your available hand to lift yourself back up into seated position. I'm going to read to you an insert from Devi Brown's Living in Wisdoms. And it says, so we interpret the word surrender as giving up or being defeated. In reality, to surrender is to stand in your sovereignty and the depths of your power. To surrender is also to stand in your dharma. Loosely translated, dharma means purpose. But more accurately, it's the deepest inner knowing that's available to us in this life. So to surrender is not to fail. It is to allow yourself to be held by the forces far more vast than you can fathom. And then to see yourself in God the most clearly. It is your being an empowered choice saying, now is the time I'm going to recognize the energetic potential of this moment and allow myself to rest. I hope you enjoyed today's yoga practice. I am doing a 5-day stress relief challenge coming up, and we'll be up every morning at 7 a.m. for 5 days, grounding and moving through the things that our heart desires so that we have a more grounded and productive day each day. If that's something you're interested in, I'll leave the link in the description. Please tell me how this practice was for you. Leave some comments for me to read. Love to have a conversation. Until next time, thank you so much for joining me, and namaste.